Hello friends, welcome. Friends, recently I did a video on the real reasons for 2G scam and how the 2G scam can be traced back to the policies which the government of India took since the earlier decades starting 2000, which is from 1995 to 2000. So I will post a description of that video in this particular session, so that whoever has not seen that video, they can go and look at that video. But today I am going to talk about a very interesting topic, and this topic is a very complex topic, and in order for me to explain this complex topic in simple terms is going to be a challenge. And I am willing to take the challenge, and for that I have made a lot of preparation, extensive preparation, to explain to the viewers in simple terms without losing the complexity or the importance of the issue, means without making the issue too trivial, because whenever the issue becomes trivial, then people who are looking at that particular issue and trying to understand that issue, their confidence is lost within that triviality. So they will not be able to really get the confidence that whatever is being said in this video is correct. And that's the challenge. So I have to be simple, and then I don't want the video to become too trivial. So this is the challenge that I am going to deal with. Now the title of the video is that post 2G scam, the spectrum assignment has become a administrative process. Now this is going to surprise everybody who is watching this video. This auction that we are undertaking today is not an auction, it is an administrative assignment in the reserve price, at a reserve price, which has been set by the government mostly on the basis of discretion. And today, this is the attempt that I am going to make for the first time in the public domain through a YouTube video to explain that why spectrum assignment through an auction process has become an administrative assignment, and it is getting misused by vested interests to decrease the competitiveness of the market. As simple as that. I am not going to name anybody, but this is the reality, and I am going to explain why it is the reality. Now let me ask you a question, whoever is watching this video. What are the symptoms and what are the attributes of administrative assignment? So this is very important to understand. What are the attributes of administrative assignment? The attributes of administrative assignment is that there is no market discovery. The prices do not increase beyond a threshold value which is set by the government, which is called reserve price. Mostly it will not increase. Means 95% of the time the prices will be same as the reserve price. That is one attribute. The second feature of an administrative assignment is that not all spectrum will get assigned. Most will lie unsold or unassigned. Reason? The price of administrative assignment sometimes can be completely dealing from the market, and therefore weaker players will not have the ability to purchase spectrum at the administrative assignment rate which the government is giving, and therefore the weaker players are going to be weeded out of the market, and only stronger players are going to remain in the market. Okay, so that's the second symptom. Now both these are very important symptoms, and the third important symptom is that whenever there has been a price discovery which has happened beyond what the reserve price have set, without application of mind, that becomes a reference price for the next auction, and the reference price becomes higher and higher as you go forward with time, making the auction process completely null and void. That's the third symptom. So we will go step by step and look at these simple symptoms with data. So what I've done, friends, is I have actually created a tool. I think many of you who are watching me probably know that there is a tool software tool which I have created. In this video, I'm running multiple sessions of this tool side by side to give you a very clear understanding what is going on in the auction process. So what I am going to do is, I am having in this window, in this session, in this particular window, if you can see, there are two different rectangles, right? They are separated out by this line. So this is basically running the same session of the tool in two different windows. The first session, the first part, which is the left part of the window, is what? It is the percentage unsold of spectrum year by year. And the second part of the window, which is on your right hand side, is the auction ratio between the auction and reserve price. Okay, so that's how I have made it. So that's to give it. So when you are going to look at this window and when you look at this data, if you find that the percentage unsold of spectrum, if these are going to be 100%, 90%, etc., then you will get an indication that that particular year of auction, most of the spectrum has been either sold or unsold. And if you find here the ratio is going to be 1, if the ratio is 1 or close to 1, which means that spectrum has been sold at reserve price. Do you get it? So this is how I am going to do. Now year 2010, so this is the selection menu. So what I have done is that I have chosen a year, which is 2010, just after the 2G scam, when the 3G auction happened. There were two bands. One was the 2100 MHz band, another was the 2300 MHz band. And these are the circles on which the bidding took place. Right? Now if you look at percentage unsold in this particular auction was 0, means everything got sold. Now if you look at the tooltip, you will get more information. What is the information that you are going to get in the tooltip? It is going to give an information of how much was offered and how much was sold. If you see that offered spectrum was 15 MHz for the 3G band, which is 2100 MHz band, and the sold was 15 MHz, unsold was 0. And the price and the reserve price versus auction price, if you see here, it's quite high, which you can see here from this particular chart here in this window, on the second part of the window, and which is on your right hand side. You can see the AP, the reserve price to auction price to reserve price was 4.29. In Delhi it is 10.37. In Mumbai it is 10.15, means it went 10 times the reserve price, and most of the circle the reserve price auction price went pretty high. So let's focus only on this. On 2300 MHz spectrum, also similar kind of experience which was observed. We observed a similar kind of phenomena where you find that the Delhi and Mumbai prices went very high, 14 times. The Tamil Nadu, which is Chennai, went to around 12.93, which is around 13 times. And with most circle, like important circle like Karnataka, like Kolkata, the prices went pretty high. Now, why did it happen? I already have explained in my earlier video that this was an auction in the precursor of 2G scam, where the number of players who were given spectrum at a subsidized rate, which is 2G spectrum, their business would not have meant any sense without 3G spectrum. So therefore, those players who were given 2G spectrum, they bid fanatically in order to grab a pie of 3G spectrum or the BWS spectrum, so-called 2300 MHz band, in order to remain in business, right? And most of those players went out of business. I'm going to show you later as to what happened, and therefore it raised the reference price to a very, very high level. Let me give you an analogy. Let's say you experience water supply in your house on a regular basis. So I live in Gurgaon, so I basically get supplied water in normal basis. There is no problem. But even in Delhi, some moments of time there is a scarcity. There is no water supply. So what you do is that you book a tanker. So the tanker is going to come at your place, like what is happening today in Bangalore, and they will charge you 2,000 to 3,000 rupees, right, for a particular tanker. Can you afford to pay for your regular water supply at the price of the tanker, which the tanker charges, the tanker man charges at the time when there is a scarcity? And can you put that as a reference price and say that whatever water was supplied on a regular time when there was no scarcity was valued at that number, whatever the number that the tanker guy basically charged you at the time when he supplied the tanker at 3,000 rupees for maybe around 1,000 liters of water, and you just put that money, put that rate on the regular supply of water and say that, oh, by the way, and the government says that, there is a huge amount of money I can make, and if I am not able to make that money, this is a loss to the exchequer. Can you make that kind of argument? Doesn't it sound like a stupid argument to make, right? Same thing happened in case of a 3G scam. Now, if you look at, in the 3G auction, post 2G scam, because what? Only 3 slots. 15 megahertz means 5 megahertz each. 3 slots were given, and around 8 to 10 players were gunning for this slot. And since they got spectrum 2G spectrum subsidized, they bid fanatically and raised the price of and you can see this very clearly, right? So this is regarding the 2000 year auction. Now let's go to the next year. Let's go to 2012, right? Now, if you look at 2012 auction, here also I am going to select 2012 so that we can do a apples to apples comparison here, 2012. Now, if you go to 2012 auction, what do you see? 800 megahertz spectrum was offered, 100% remain unsold, right? And therefore, the ratio between the auction and reserve price is 0 here. Now, how much 1800 megahertz spectrum was offered, right? Around if you look at this tooltip, you will find that there is a number mentioned here, like offered 13.75 megahertz, and you can just, by the way, I will going to share the link of this tool. You can do you can investigate this by yourself, right? So you can see that lot of spectrum was offered, and in some circles, the spectrum was left completely unsold, right? So, for example, if you see here, 13.75 megahertz of spectrum in Karnataka completely left unsold. And there was a reason for these circles remaining unsold. For example, Delhi, right? Like Karnataka, like Mumbai, like Tamil Nadu. Why the spectrum remained unsold? Because the government levied the price of the 3G auction price on these circles in 1800 megahertz band, and that happened just after the 2G scam when the licenses were cancelled and the players were asked to buy spectrum from the market, and the price was made equal to the price what was discovered in the 3G auction. So therefore, as I told you earlier, these important circles like Delhi, Mumbai, Karnataka, these circles, the price went very high, and therefore the players actually chose not to buy spectrum in this circle. This is a clear reflection. Whatever they bought was actually at reserve price. Can you see this? 1.1, maybe at Bihar it was 1.09, right? So it was at reserve price. So this is regarding the story of our 2012. Now let's go to 2013. Now let's see what happened in 2013. This is a very interesting, by the way, picture, which is because this is a very complex data, by the way. Nobody can look at this data unless you aggregate this in this manner and then look at this data. Then only the picture will become clear, because raw data does not tell any story. So now you look at this. In 2013, 800 megahertz spectrum was offered. Only in few circles the spectrum got sold, because if you recall, MTS license got cancelled, right, in all the circles. But MTS chose not to buy spectrum in important circles because the price was so high because of the 3G, because of the scarcity of water, the tanker people charging so much about water. The government is basically saying the regular supply of water should be at that particular rate. And therefore MTS said that, and the public outcry. Public said, loss to the exchequer, by the way. Oh my God. I should be buying water at the same rate at which it is being charged at the time of scarcity by the tanker guy, and if the water is not sold at the same level, there is a loss to the exchequer. That is what the public perception was, correct? So MTS could not buy spectrum in most of the circles, because at the time MTS license got cancelled. MTS was operating in 800 megahertz band, and therefore most of the places they did not buy, and only a few places they bought, and that too at reserve price. Can you see here? That too at reserve price. Right? 900 megahertz spectrum, nothing but happened. 800 100% remain unsold. Nothing happened, right? Now, let's go to year 2014. Let's go to year 2014. Here you will find something interesting which is going to happen, and I'm going to deep dive into this later. Okay. So let's go to 2014. Now, if you find in 2014, you will see that the 900 megahertz spectrum, and by the way, this particular year, there were 3 circles which licenses were expiring. 900 megahertz, Delhi, Kolkata and Mumbai. And their 900 megahertz spectrum was expiring, right, of the operator. So if you see here, all the spectrum got sold in 900 megahertz in Delhi, Kolkata and in Mumbai. Okay, right? Can you see this? 16 megahertz offered, everything was sold. Here 14 megahertz was offered in Kolkata, so everything got sold. 16 megahertz was offered in Delhi, everything got sold. See, there is no question now of nothing gets sold because it was the existing spectrum which the operators were already having deployment. Equipment was functioning in this particular spectrum band, right? Now, if suppose I tell you that you have an existing business with a lot of subscribers and I will ask you to bid for that particular band and then I allow competitors also to bid in the same band, and you are bidding for survival, other people are bidding for fun. Actually fun, because they want the prices to go up. If they bid in that particular circle and you are bidding to survive, and those guys with a lot of oxygen, they know cylinders, like you do not have oxygen, right? Let's say you are just holding your breath. Other people are there and they are with full oxygen supply and they are basically bidding and they are trying to basically stay alive in that time, during the time of auction. So who is going to stay alive for a longer duration of time? Because you are going to grasping for breath, because your survival is actually at stake. So you will keep on bidding, and if there is a small supply of oxygen which the government is giving, you will say, okay, give me that, I want to survive. Other people will bid for fun. This is exactly what happened in 900 megahertz spectrum. You see that? So here what happened was the Delhi prices went 2 times, Kolkata prices went 1.56 times, and Mumbai prices went 1.72 times. But spectrum got sold and the government became very happy because they thought that they actually made a lot of money from the operators, but they squeeze the operators' capability to invest, because if operator pays from their nose for auction, they will not have enough money to roll out. And that's why today, whatever quality, the state of situation that we see as far as quality of services are concerned, and operators' inability to make investment in rural area and indoors, by the way. You see the quality of voice? You make a voice call, right? Can you see that, you can't make a circuit switch voice call, you have to make WhatsApp's call, right? Because the circuit switch voice call is so poor because of operators not able to do in-building coverage, and most of the capacity is now used for data. Therefore, what happens is that quality of services goes down, right? And whatever is going on, you are completely helpless because you are at the mercy of the operator. So this is regarding the 2000, and if you see that 1800 megahertz also a lot of spectrum remain unsold. You see that? See 47.6%, 48.8%, 64.3%, 62.9% in Tamil Nadu. And whatever got sold, most of the area got sold in reserve price, except for few areas where the quantum of spectrum, for example, if you see Assam, the quantum of spectrum offered in Assam was 11.4 megahertz. Sold 11.4 megahertz. There must have been some kind of scarcity there. Therefore, the price went to 5.16 times. Right? That is the reason. Now, what the government, and why, by the way, I am going to do a video to basically tell the viewers what should have been the actual design of auction to motivate responsible bidding. Because most of the time, the operators are bidding for the sake of either remaining in business or to exclude other players to get spectrum, so that the market competitiveness is completely destroyed and they can remain in business and maximize shareholders value at the cost of the consumer and their ability to enjoy good quality service. Okay. Now coming back to 2015, let's go to 2015 and see what happened in 2015 here. Now, if you look at 2015 here, you will find that in 2015, here is 2015. Okay. 800 megahertz was offered. Now, 2015 was also a year where the licenses were expiring and there was an entry of a new player. That player really needed lower frequency band in order to, have some competitive standing compared to other players. So there was a focus on 800 megahertz spectrum. So a lot of spectrum in 800 megahertz, which is actually at par with 900 megahertz where GSM is running. This was a CDMA spectrum. And then finally it became a 4G spectrum. And the player who entered the market, which everybody knows, basically wanted to be at par with the existing GSM player, and therefore they needed 800 megahertz spectrum, because initially they bought 2.3 gigahertz of spectrum, which could not have a carpet to carpet coverage with the low frequency band. The low frequency band has got better coverage. It can penetrate indoors. So if you really want to have a carpet to carpet coverage in order to ensure that voice is ubiquitous across the country, you need low frequency band. Right? That is why 5G is not successful, by the way. I can't cover this in this video, but we can do a separate video later. So this spectrum band got sold. 900 megahertz got sold because of the reason that the the licenses actually got expired, and it is important for the operators to reacquire their licenses, because one phase of licenses got expired in 2014 and the rest of the phases of license got expired in 2015. So you find that most of the spectrum, except for few patches there, it got sold. 1800 also, you will find that most of the area it got sold. In some area it did not get sold, and then 2100 megahertz spectrum people acquire as a fallback strategy if they did not get 900. In some of the areas, spectrum did not get sold, but in some because there was only one slot, by the way, that's why it was only 5 megahertz. You see that only 5 megahertz was offered, right? In most of this, in some of the circles where there is 0, you can see that, and you will find that only the 900 megahertz prices went very, very high, and rest and 800 also went high because of the separate reason which I am going to talk about later if I have time in this video. 1800 it did not. But this was an aberration. This year was an aberration because of the fact that it was a renewal year. Now come back to now let's go in 2016. Now it will become interesting from this year in 2016. Now you will find that from 2016 onwards, you will find that, so let me just a minute, I'll just close this and I'll blow this. Now you will find that now truly the auctions are becoming a means of administrative assignment. Now you see 700 megahertz band, nothing got sold. 800 megahertz band, many circles, 100% spectrum did not get sold. 900, you see nothing got sold wherever it was offered. 1800, it got sold, but in many places, a lot of spectrum remain unsold. 2100, nothing got sold virtually. Few circles here and there people bought. 2300, nothing. 2300 is basically a different band. It's a 4G band. Therefore, what happened was 2300, whatever was offered, got sold because it was actually a spectrum which got acquired in 2010. If you recall, it was a BWS spectrum. It was the first 4G spectrum which was auctioned, and therefore it was required in order for the operators to expand in the same spectrum band so that they can have larger quantum of spectrum to have more capacity. So all the spectrum which was offered in 2300 megahertz sold. 2500 megahertz was a equivalent band for 2300. It did not get sold in many circles, and you will find that in everywhere except for few places like Gujarat in 2300 megahertz, Mumbai in 1800 megahertz, because if you look at Mumbai, how much spectrum was offered in Mumbai? Mumbai only 5 megahertz was offered. Therefore, and in 2300, maybe there was a pressure here because of I think Idea was trying to basically bid in this band. I probably think so. We'll go into the details and look at. But you will find that most of the places the spectrum actually got sold at the reserve price. Now let's go to the next year. The next year is what? Year 2021. Now in year 2021, if you look at year 2021, you will get a similar picture. What do you get? In 2021, you will find in 2021 also many places the spectrum basically was remaining unsold. Look 700 megahertz, look 800 megahertz, many places lot of spectrum remain unsold. 900 megahertz, see 1800 megahertz, see 100%. You can just observe, because whatever is black is 100% means whatever was offered did not get sold. Like for example, in Gujarat 10 megahertz or 2100 megahertz was offered, did not get sold. Right? In 2300 megahertz, only 50% of the sum of the spectrum got sold, right? And then in 2500, you will find that 30 megahertz of offer, it did not remain sold in many circles. And whatever got sold was at reserve price, because 111, everywhere it is 1, right? Now let's go to the last year of auction, which is year 2022, because year 2024 is going to be the next auction, right? So let's look at year 2022, which was the last year of auction. Now, if you look at year 2022, what do you find? let's go and look at year 2022. You will find again 600 megahertz, nothing got sold. 700 megahertz, 60% of the spectrum remain unsold. 800, 100% remain unsold. 900, 100% remain unsold. In 1800, most of the places, many spectrum 100% remain unsold. 2100, most areas 100% remain unsold. 2300 megahertz, all areas 100% remain unsold, right? And then in 2100 also, many areas, spectrum remain unsold, right? You see 3500 because it's a 5G band, though it was a 5G band, but there are a lot of spectrum, you see, both 2600 and 2500 remain unsold, right? Because like 39% spectrum in Punjab remain unsold, 36.8 remain unsold. And you find, except in UP East, everything got sold at reserve price. Now, do you agree with me that the auctions actually has become a mechanism for assigning spectrum camouflaged, right, as administrative assignment? It's basically branded as auction, but it is an administratively mechanism to assign spectrum administratively, because all the features and all the attributes which I mentioned that in the beginning of this video holds true here, right? So this is what the situation is, right? Now, if I have time, I will go to, so I don't think I have time. What I'm going to do is that next video, because I'm going to close this video here because otherwise the video will become too long. In the next video, I'm going to talk about why in some of the areas, in some of the years, like in 2100, in year 2010, in year 2014, and in year 2015, why spectrum got sold more than the reserve price, right? And why there was a scarcity in that particular round, and why the spectrum auction went haywire. And in the next video, we are going to also compare how reserve price of same bands are completely dissimilar. For example, I will give you a peek of this in the next video. Like if you look at 1800 megahertz band and 2100 megahertz band, you will find that this is a similar band. Means the 2100 megahertz band actually is a much worse band than 1800 megahertz band. If you see here, you will find that the prices of 2100 megahertz spectrum is higher than 1800 megahertz spectrum in some of the crucial circles. For example, if you see Mumbai in 2015, there was nothing offered, but before that the price of 1800 megahertz was 207 crores per megahertz. Look at this, the price of 2100 megahertz spectrum band. Can you see this? 649 crores per megahertz. Even though both these bands have similar propagation characteristics, actually 2100 is much worse. Its price should be low. But can you see how how distorted our auction design is without application of mind? And then after having explained this in the next video, I will do another video to explain what should have been the actual design for auction to preserve market competitiveness. Okay, so since already 30 minutes have passed in this video, I'd like to basically close this video right now, and it's 28.2 minutes. I'll come back to you in the next video. Maybe I will do this video in a vernacular language like Hindi, because this is an important topic for everybody to understand. It is such a difficult thing to understand without data, and unless you aggregate the data in the manner which I showed you, nothing makes sense. Okay, so I'll probably do a vernacular video in Hindi also, maybe sometimes, depending upon how comfortable I am. And I will do a video on satellite spectrum scam. That is important, like Devas. What actually happened? What is happening right now? Those things people will not be able to understand, because everybody feels Supreme Court has said, everything should be auction. Why, non-auctioning spectrum is not against the Supreme Court judgment. And what was the Supreme Court judgment in real sense? What Supreme Court said in reality, and how Supreme Court judgment has been distorted, misused, misrepresented in the public domain to meet vested interest, right? By some of the players who really want the market competitiveness to get destroyed, so that they get a free hand, and the consumer's choice is restricted, because it is always better. Everybody does that. All big companies, whether you talk about Apple, Google, if they have a handle, right, to control market competitiveness, they will control market competitiveness, because unless and until the regulator is vigilant. It is the role of the regulator to steer these companies to exploit the regulation in their favor, to prevent the other players to to enhance competitiveness in the market, because competitiveness is not in the interest of the business, because it kind of dilutes stockholders' value. And everybody who is participating in the space, who is investing in those companies, they want there to maximize their return. So the role of the regulator becomes very important, and they have to recognize this, and they have to prevent such kind of actions to preserve market competitiveness, right? So anyway, friends, I hope that you like this video, and I'll come back with the next phase of this video, because these are very complex topics and can't be covered in simple terms in just 5 minutes video, right? I have taken a pain to even drive all these softwares, created all these softwares so that I can explain. That was the whole intent, it is not to basically do PhD on this topic. The whole idea is to put this in this form so that people can see, I myself can see, right, understand what is going on. Thanks again for for staying till the end, and I'll come back to you with the next video next time. Thank you very much.